Live at Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue, bringing you the best in real Texas barbecue. This is Sooner Sports Talk on the Sooner Sports Network from Learfield.
Throw ahead to Nigel Pack, open for three in the tie. Got it! Back to Brown up top, three ball, Xavier, bam! Big one!
Chavez right wing will fire a three. It's a swish. Aaliyah Chavez with her first three. Chavez underneath Williams is wide open. Sahara goes up and scores. Good ball movement, and Sahara Williams finished it.
Sooner Sports Talk is brought to you by Dos Equis, official import beer of OU Athletics. Go for Dos. Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly.
Beer's got a hand on it. Verhulst ahead to Williams. It's a 2-on-1 with Reagan. Reagan goes in. Left side layup is good.
Pack, Forsyth corner, three ball. Got it!
This is Sooner Sports Talk.
All right, welcome into Sooner Sports Talk. We're live from Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue, and we're talking all things OU women's basketball. Let's start by welcoming in the head coach of the OU women's basketball team, Jenny Baranczyk, ladies and gentlemen.
Nice crowd tonight.
I know, right? They're hot. They've laughed at my jokes, so we're hot.
Good.
This crowd is on fire tonight. And ladies and gentlemen, Kai Smith is back.
You had to throw the fire comment, didn't you?
So let me ask you
Sorry,
something.
Kaya. I didn't mean to take your intro. I just thought he was.
Let's try this again. Ladies and gentlemen, Kaya Smith is here.
There we
with
go.
us.
There we go.
That's awesome. She's a big fan of doing this kind of stuff. Did you have like 8,000 text messages on Saturday when the popcorn machine caught fire, or what?
Well, you know, we were en route to Alabama. So when we got there, all of a sudden it was like on our way. I mean, we literally left the building and the building caught on fire. So it would have been nice to have brought that with us a little bit, I guess, that being caught on fire in our game. But, you know, honestly, it was all over social media, and we didn't even necessarily even talk about it, but I mean, it's crazy because that's really where, I mean, our people here at our Clinton Lounge, like, come on, like, we all knew where it was. We knew, I mean, our office was there for, you know, a year.
That's right.
Right around that area. So I haven't been up there today, but my office didn't smell when I went in, so that's positive.
It wasn't burnt popcorn throughout the entire place, is what you're saying.
No.
Well, before we dive into talking about Kaya and talking about her development, let's talk about Sunday. Go to a tough place to play and get a big win.
You know, honestly, it is a tough place to play, and I thought we got to see a lot of different things, and they play really, really well at home. Alabama's really good at home. They can shoot the ball. They can stretch you. I thought our first half was pretty solid. I thought we did a really nice job, and honestly, the start of the third quarter, we did okay, and then I think we kind of got a little bit tight. Peyton Verhulst went down with an ankle. Obviously, she came back, but that was a big part of, you know, when you see a teammate go through something like that, all of a sudden you're just a little bit shaky, and you can't be shaky in this league, and once you're shaky a little bit, then all of a sudden there's a run. But I was really proud of the way that we finished, and when we had to make plays, we were able to make plays, but it was definitely a team game. I mean, we could not do that without, and honestly, we can't continue to get better if we don't continue to rely on each other as a team.
Peyton, she came back in. Sometimes those ankles can be a little bit tricky. How's she seem to be doing? Have you had a chance to talk to her?
You know, I don't know necessarily. I know she was obviously able to come back into that game, but we'll see. And you know, those things kind of get tricky, and they're not always fun. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And so we're really lucky that we have just an incredible staff. Obviously, we have a great trainer in Brittany Beaver. We have a really great strength coach in Parker Sizemore, and between the two of them, especially, I mean, there's a whole team around them, but those two really. Just do an incredible job of being able to make sure that they'll do whatever they can to make sure that they have her safety as the first part of everything. And then obviously getting her ready to be able to continue to compete. They'll get her as ready as she can be.
Yeah. Kaya, congrats on the win. Kind of take me through how the season's gone for you from a development perspective and seeing more minutes.
Well, the season's going, I would say, really good for me. As far as development, I think I'm developing well, learning a lot more from my teammates and obviously being on the court more too.
Yeah, and tell me a little bit, Coach, what you've seen in Kaya's development.
Well, when we were here a year ago, because again, Kaya loves these things.
Yeah, I know, right? I couldn't believe she. I'm like, hi, nice to meet you. I'm Chris. She goes, we've met. I'm like, I'm old. I forget these kind of things.
Well, she, and honestly, you could have been Toby. You don't know. You don't know.
Yeah, that's right. It might have been Toby that was here.
But honestly, she, you take a year and you look at what she did last year. There was a decision she had to make at some point in the season last year because there wasn't a lot of time. There was so much depth. There were so many older players. We had so many fifth-year seniors that were ahead of Kaya. And, she took that and said, okay, how do I get better every day? And she came to practice. And there was a time probably maybe about a year ago, a little over a year, but where she just drew a line and said, okay, I got to make sure that not only do I get better, but I get better for my team. You can see that development this season. You can see that there have been times in this season that she's been really confident in herself and what the team needs. There have been times where she's like, okay, I'm a little hesitant because I'm still trying to learn and I'm trying to do the right things. But what I love about Kaya is I know it doesn't matter if she plays well, doesn't play well, plays a lot, doesn't play a lot in one game. The next game, she comes back and she's ready to go. And honestly, we need her for the rest of this season. I love when, we're still working on throwing ourselves in and not worrying about whether or not we make mistakes and we just play through things because defensively she can do some really, really good things for us. She can play multiple positions on the offensive end. She's obviously, like you can see right now, she's worked on her three-point shot. But she can get to the rim. She can pass. Ooh. Yeah, I mean, she really can. And I think she's finding her way throughout this season. And sometimes when you come in this type of a season where it's so intense, and the SEC, you guys, is so good for women's basketball. And so sometimes when you feel like your confidence is up and down, that's part of your growth period. And I think that's where Kaya's at right now. I think she's just growing. I think she's wanting to get better, but her attitude's been great. Her willingness to show up the next day. Like, I just literally love coaching her. And she's had a lot of other things kind of going on too from a family perspective. And so to be able to watch her be able to step out with her team and still have, and I say the family part because she's from here.
Right.
And so they're all
PC
here
West,
all
stand
the time.
up.
That's right. So it's been phenomenal to watch her, but I just, there's a big part of me that just knows that there's a lot more coming. And I know we only have 4 regular season games left, but there's a lot more coming from Kaya.
You just blew my mind, and that's awesome. You have 4 regular season games left?
Yeah.
Where did this season go? I'm sure at times you feel like it's flown by, and other times you're like, this thing has been going on forever.
Well, it's like parents, when you have a baby and you're like every day you feel like is so long, and then all of a sudden you blink and you're like, oh my God, they're awkward and 13 and at the water thing over there, As I just shouted out my son, and he doesn't even know it.
He's doing good. He's taking care of his sisters right now.
But it's like that, where it's, I just told somebody today, I did an interview, I know, and we need to get Kaya talking and not me talking, but
she's fine with it, I think. She's good with it.
I said, honestly, when you have such a young team, you want to pull your hair out, you want to cheer, you have all of these emotions over and over. But I think in a couple years, I'm going to look back and be like, wow, this was one of my favorite years coaching because it has stretched me to no end. It has made you, try different things, and everyone thinks, oh, they just need motivation, and they don't need a video. They need to fall down. They need to build resiliency, and they need to build grit, and they need to build togetherness, and they need to build unity, and we're seeing them in that process right now. And although we want to win every game, and we want to play well every minute of every game, this growth process is pretty phenomenal.
Yeah, it's been really fun to watch. This opening segment, by the way, is presented by Noble McIntyre with McIntyre Law, award-winning Oklahoma personal injury attorneys. I mentioned PC West. What does it mean to you? How special is it to be an Oklahoman, native Oklahoman here your whole life, and playing at OU? It's got to be a pretty special feeling.
Yeah, it is, especially to see everyone back home to be able to come to the games and watch and all the things, and I get to see them all the time, so I don't really get homesick. So.
I was thinking about names, and like you think of great names in the history of OU basketball and OU women's basketball. You're probably looking at what, like Maddie Williams? Whenever you were watching, like in high school, who were the OU players that?
Maddie.
I was going to really start bringing up some old school names, and like, nah, we're not going to go all the way back to Stacey Dales and the Paris twins, right? Yeah, you're young.
Well, they all know the Paris twins,
Yeah.
and they've
Yeah.
gotten to meet. Yeah, I mean, they know that, and they know who Stacey Dales is. I mean, they're pretty good at knowing that. But, I mean, I think, again, you look at the great players that have stayed home, and it's been pretty incredible. So I would love to hear from Kaya, not to take your job, Chris,
Go
but
ahead.
how you feel about your own development this year and how your role is completely expanded on your team and you're dependent on every day.
I feel like my development so far could, like you said earlier, it could be better. Like there's more that I haven't shown that I could. So, and I think that my team needs that from me, and for me to step up, to me, that means a lot that you trust me to do that.
Huh? What has Sahara Williams meant to you? Seems like she's kind of taken you
Yeah,
under her wing.
Sahara's pretty hard on Kaya.
No.
You picked a good one. You picked a good one.
That was all Drake, by the way.
Yeah.
Everyone's doing my job for me. You're asking questions. Drake's giving me all the notes that I need.
Yeah.
But it's good to have a mentor like that, right?
Yeah, I feel like me and Sahara's like competitive butt heads a lot more than I would have ever thought. So yeah, that's very interesting to see this year. Yeah.
Well, and she believes in her. I mean, she does. And so she has this really high expectation for Kaya. I mean, it's, there were multiple days in the off season that I'm like, okay, Sahara, you can just lay off Kaya a little bit. And she's like, but she could be so good. And so I said, you know what? Don't lay off her then.
That's awesome.
You keep going. And she's going to keep going and she's going to keep pushing you. But make no mistake, there's nobody lacking any kind of belief, but you got it.
That's
Keep
awesome.
working and you're going to be great.
Great
and
job,
we need
Kaya.
it.
Yep.
We appreciate it.
Thank
It's
you.
Kaya Smith. Think Reagan Beers joining us next. Stick around at Sooner Sports Talk.
Sooner Sports Talk is brought to you by Bob Moore Ford, official sponsor of the Patriot of the Game. Riverwind Casino, the official entertainment destination of OU Athletics. Walden Cleaners and Laundry, where the difference is quality. Love's, the heart of the highway.
All right, welcome back to Rudy's. We are live with Sooner Sports Talk, and ladies and gentlemen, she needs no introduction. Reagan Beers is in the house. What's up, Reagan?
Oh, you left him hanging.
It's okay. She didn't want me in her picture that we took before the
I
segment
did
either.
say that.
This segment.
You did say that.
This segment is presented by
He's not
Dos
wrong.
Equis, the official import beer of OU Athletics. Go for Dos. Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Congrats on the win Sunday. Take me through how it felt. You see Peyton go down. She bounces back, but you guys persevered through it.
We did. I was proud of our younger girls for stepping up when Peyton did go down, and Sahara, of course, and her leadership throughout this whole season, especially that game has been important, whether that's through her actions or with her words. And so that was a great, honestly, step for us to see when things go bad. Things do go bad sometimes, whether that's a player going down, whether you have more turnovers than you would have liked, things happen that are not good.
Interesting, you brought
and
that
so,
up,
yeah,
Reagan.
I know. I was giving you a way to talk about that. And so things happen that you don't want to happen. You got to weather the storm. And I thought we did a good job of that on Sunday.
Overall, and I would imagine protecting the basketball, valuing possession, still something that you're working through here, Coach? Or
I mean, yeah, that's a huge part of what we have to be able to do. But I think with our balance, and I think we honestly did a nice job of being able to share the basketball. We got the ball to people that we needed. We had multiple people making plays, and yeah, there's a lot of those kind of cleanup turnovers that we can have, that we can be a little bit better. We still have where. If you hesitate in the SEC and then throw it, it's a turnover. You got to go with your gut, or you got to just move on. And I think we're still, we've had really good games. We've had really good moments that we've really taken care of the ball and been able to kind of trust our instincts. And then we've had those moments that we were a little shaky. And yesterday, honestly, we were pretty good to a point, and then we just had a quarter that wasn't.
From your perspective, what I've really dug about being able to do the show this year is, hanging out with you guys, but you're not afraid to have tough conversations with each other. You talked about the film study with Zaya, and It's really been cool to see. That's important in the locker room, right? Where you're not afraid to tell someone when you need more from them, or someone can tell you, I need this. That makes a good team, right?
100%. Obviously, before this, you were talking about Sahara and Kaya and their relationship and how important that has been, that Sahara has been on Kaya, someone that we really need to perform for our team to be successful. And so the same goes with Peyton. I feel like she's hard on everybody. She expects a lot of everybody, and she knows how to, what to say to certain people and what to kind of take back on certain people and maybe deliver it differently. And I feel like she's gotten a lot better at that. And so that's what makes a good team. It's not all sunshine and rainbows, and you got to get on each other, but you have to know the delivery is coming from a good place. And sometimes it doesn't come across that way, but you got to take the message for what it is half the time.
It's a matter of the relationships you built away from the court too, right? Or
100%.
Is that making too much of it?
No, 100%. When you know the person that's getting on you about things, it's a lot easier to take harsh criticism.
Right.
And I feel like Peyton and I's relationship specifically has developed a lot from last year to this year, and that has helped with a lot of things that she now gets on me about. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. Whether the delivery was nice or not, I don't care. You're right. I need to go grab that rebound. I need to go get that pass. So that's developed and has developed throughout our team this year.
We're going to watch some highlights on the TV side of Reagan just dominating inside. Coach, how have you seen Reagan continue to progress? Is such a focus by teams defensively on her. I think we'll see a couple triple teams here as well too, and that physicality thing we've talked about where you're going to take a few elbows and a few shoves. How have you seen her develop, Coach, in that?
Well, honestly, it's really impressive because a lot of people's game plan is just to foul her or to.
What was
fly.
that? How did I miss that in the box score? Let's go.
She can shoot. She can shoot the three. We see it every day. But no, I mean, honestly, she's, she every game is really physical and every game is game planned for her. So her, I know.
These are highlights for the whole season.
Why don't you just be given some
I apologize.
highlights here?
We haven't watched the Reagan highlights in a while. She hasn't been on in a bit.
And it is fun because she's great. I mean, she really is, and she has this really cool demeanor. I mean, when I was 22, I definitely would have had a few technical fouls. I can promise you that. Saying things. I guess Peyton's a little bit more like me, maybe, than Reagan is.
Yeah, 100%.
But honestly, I think, I get really impressed with that. I get impressed with her wanting to do well, her, taking ownership of things that maybe she shouldn't even take ownership of, and yet we're really hard on her. So it's not, this isn't paint by numbers. This isn't, hey, let's just get the ball into Reagan. We want to get the ball into Reagan, and sometimes we want to get it too much, and sometimes she's got to demand it more. And I think she's finding this really cool confidence in herself of being assertive and wanting to win every possession, whether it's setting a screen, making a pass, posting up, inside, outside. I think that's something that we're really leaning on. And yesterday we had to lean on her a little bit more than when Peyton goes out. She didn't have a normal, okay, go a few minutes and then come out. I mean, and that game was really, really physical, but I'm just impressed with how much she wants to work and take care of her body. And, today she's in the weight room. After the game, she's with our strength coach. I mean, she's just constantly doing all the things that she needs to do on a daily basis. She's just an incredible example for all of us.
That's awesome to hear from your coach, I bet. And you can have those tough conversations with teammates and understand where you can be better when you also are allowing your coach to coach you hard. How important has that been for this team? Because
I'm so nice to Reagan. It's just everybody else.
Is that true?
No, because I think I might have been caught yesterday as I was told so nicely, yelling at her after she threw it out of bounds. I was like, I'm not on your team, Reagan.
But it was a good pass right to you.
It really was.
It was right to me. Isn't that awesome? As I'm standing out of bounds on the wing as Peyton's wide open at the basket.
You allow yourself to be coached hard. Not everyone is like that.
Yeah.
I mean, you've been around the game. You got brothers. By the way, Rocky's coming to OU. We can say that now. We couldn't say it the last time that
He's
you were here.
moved here.
Your brother's
He's here. He's here.
Kid,
He's
wife,
here. He's in our student section. He's here.
800 yards receiving, 12 touchdowns next year. But you've had a competitive childhood, right? You guys battled. You guys went out, and you allow your coach to coach you hard. I mean, what allows that? It's a faith in coach, right?
100%. I mean, when you have a great coach around you and a great staff around you, it is a lot easier to say yes to things that maybe in the moment you don't think are right or true or whatever in that case, in that moment. And from a young age, my mom was very, very adamant about not disrespecting your coaches and the people around you. And so she was always like, whether you think you're wrong or right, or they're wrong or right, you say yes, ma'am, you say yes, sir, and you do what you do what you're told, whether you're right or wrong. And so that you had to put a lot of trust in the people that are leading you. And that's why I think a lot of us trust Jenny so much, is her confidence in herself that she just pours into the rest of our team. And so that comes a lot with who she is as a person and the daily just work that she puts in to make us better as a team, which we all appreciate. And the time that takes away from her family, that now she has 11 other kids that she has to deal with besides the 3 at home. And so that takes a lot. And
4 accounts, Scott, too.
Oh, all right. It's okay, Scott, we love you. But that takes a lot. And so we're thankful for that when it comes to Jenny, for sure.
You're on fire tonight.
Hey, this is our life.
Let's take a look at our upcoming Sooner schedule this week. It's brought to you by One Oklahoma, powered by Sooner Sports Properties, fan, field, athlete focused. Boy, the grind never stops in this league. You're going to go to Athens, then Tennessee comes to town, and obviously they've had a couple issues this year, but interesting stretch in the final 4 games of the season.
Yeah, no, this is it. I mean, this is what we have. And so, and when you look at that, it's, we have 2 home games. And so I'm really hoping that we really pack this place. And, obviously we go to Georgia on Thursday, and Georgia just beat Vanderbilt, who's the top 5 team. So, and was a projected number 1 seed in the NCAA tournament. So, there's not an easy night ever. I don't care who you're playing. I don't care where you're playing. You have to show up every single night. So we won't worry about anything else other than we need a lot of people at our last 2 home games. But we're going to give everything that we have on Thursday.
Awesome stuff. Thank you, Coach.
Appreciate
Great stuff as always.
Thank you.
Great stuff,
Thank
Reagan.
you. Boomer.
Stick around. Porter's next. You're watching Sooner Sports Talk.
The Huddle is brought to you by Riverwind Casino. It's always a good time. OU Fan Shop. The best place to gear up for game day is shop.soonersports.com. Sooner Kids Club. Log on to Soonersports.com/kids for information about joining the Kids Club presented by OG&E and brought to you in part by Devon Energy.
Swing it around to Tay. Tay, jump stop in the lane, back to the front of the rim, lobs it up, missed it. Fight for the rebound, ends up with Reed, who throws it up, falling down, got it back on his butt. He got an assist from the outside.
All right, that's hustle right there, baby. Welcome back to Sooner Sports Talk, live from Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue. 2 in a row. Porter Moser, the head coach of the OU men's basketball team, and the pride of Gale, Oklahoma, Dayton Forsyth, is back and healthy. Welcome, man. Welcome.
Appreciate it.
All right, let's get all the jokes out of the way. When did you realize the popcorn machine was on fire on Saturday?
Oh, my. My.
The shot of you turning around and kind of turning towards the bench, I mean,
There's nothing that surprised me this year. I look up at that, and there's many jokes that can come through your mind about the age of LNC and about the new arenas, but you wanted everyone to be safe first because it kind of was wild for a second. Yeah. You just saw everyone running out there, but literally, my wife said it too. She's like, Porter, you look so calm, and I'm just like, I don't know what else can happen. Is someone going to throw a shot in from the popcorn machine and make it? No, that was surreal. That was like nothing I've ever been through. I mean, it's hard to even script something like you've been through.
Sure.
But just glad that the 92-year-old watering system worked up there and everything.
Now, we might not have known how to shut it off, but we eventually figured it out. But you guys know what was going on?
I mean, we just turned around and saw a big old flame up there. We didn't really know what was going to happen next, but
that's all.
I think it was you, didn't you? Aren't you the one that said to me, "Hey, coach, there's a fire"?
Yeah.
and I go, out of the things that I've heard from players over 35 years, I've never had somebody in a game come up to me and say, "Hey, coach, there's a fire up there."
I will say, because you guys tipped off right after we had wrapped up our softball broadcast, and I thought it was going to be a longer delay, but it seemed like it got rolling pretty quick. And I mean, Coach, you mentioned all the jokes you could have, but this team really caught fire on Saturday.
No, exactly. And there was no advantage, disadvantage. The other team had to sit through it too. So, no, but I thought for us, you know, and Dayton's sitting right here, but like him getting healthy has changed us completely. Look at his last 3 games. He's averaging over 10 points, and you know, just his energy and spark and his ability to handle the ball and be another point guard in there with Xavier and Nigel. You know, he not only had 1 bad ankle in the Arizona State, then he's had 2. So he really hasn't. He's been battling that for so long, and he's probably, he'll tell you this, he probably has felt himself the last 3 games, and it's just changed us. We've played our best basketball of the year because when you're deeper in this league and we're able to play Xavier Brown less minutes, he's had his like efficient games. I know he didn't score a lot last game, but efficiency-wise, he's been really good because he's played 3 or 4 less minutes, and it's really helped.
And that's how scientific things are anymore. You're able to see the data that's like, hey, if he can get a few
no doubt.
fewer minutes, he's going to be fresher. How you feeling? How's it been being back?
It feels great. It was a long month and a half, 2 months. It wasn't easy, like you said, with no ankles trying to play basketball. But no, I'm super excited to be back. Like you said, I just love playing basketball. I love being able to compete with my teammates. And then getting wins on top of that's even better.
Well, and whenever you hear your coach say, hey, that spark that he's provided has been a big difference maker, what does that mean to you?
It means a lot. That's what I try to do. I try to come in and be a spark, bring that energy, and just help in any way that I can. Like you said, whenever I was hurt, Nigel and X were having to take over the minutes that I was missing, and that's not easy to do, playing 35, 38 minutes a game. So just being able to come back and give them some help, some relief, is really big.
Yeah, and you said it, Coach. It's been a different team since we've seen Dayton out there.
And I do want to, you know, clarify like what a spark. You know, sometimes a spark is, you know, a walk-on who just gives you an energy and just. Dayton's more than a spark.
Yeah.
He's a really good player, and with a spark. If you look at just sheer numbers, going into 3 games ago, we were the last team in the SEC in bench scoring. Dead last. Out of 16 teams, the production we were getting off. Now that he's been healthy, we've climbed up. We had a season-high 44 points off the bench last game. I can't even begin to tell you how much that changes us, that you can be deeper in this league. It's so daunting. Going into the Kentucky game, we had ranked the #1 hardest remaining schedule in the country by HDI Analytics. Going into the Kentucky, they looked at the remainder of everybody's schedule and says Oklahoma has the #1 hardest. We've been 2-1 in these first 3 games out of that, and we had Kentucky made them call a timeout with 8 left, and we really didn't play great. They shot the lights out. Yeah. We're playing better. We've always believed in each other through the tough times, and but just getting Dayton healthy and getting some other guys productive off the bench is really given less pressure on those first 5 to produce night in and night out.
This segment is being brought to you by Riverwind Casino. Riverwind Casino, always a good time. What was it, because I don't know at Dale if you ever battled any injuries or during the summer if you had to, but what was it like for a guy who plays a lot to have to sit back and just watch? That had to be tough for you.
Yeah, it was super tough. I just love competing. I love being able to compete with my teammates, and so having to sit there and watch them was not easy, but every day I was coming in with a great attitude. I was trying to be positive and try to help out in any way that I can, provide energy from the bench. But yeah, like I said, it wasn't easy. I didn't miss hardly any games in high school, and so now this was really the first time I've had to deal with this, and so it's challenging mentally, for sure. But just sticking with it, getting through my recovery, and trying to get healthy was that's all I was thinking about.
Can you take us a little bit through? You said it, Coach Moser, about Dayton being more than just a spark. Where have you seen him grow as a player his last 2 years?
Well, what I've seen him, just that move that we just saw him, how he drove baseline in the second half, how he got to his spots. And, when you're injured, you're not be able to do your conditioning every day. And it's hard to stay in the playing weight that you want to stay in. You're fit. And then with ankles, to be able to get to your spots, especially the point guard. But I just saw a clip, how he turned the corner, kind of bopped Blue Cane, turned and spun. You just watched how fast he got to the spots. We just, with 2 bad ankles, he wasn't able to get to the spots like he normally does. And that's helped. And, as you putting together the team, last year we had like 4 guys that could handle the ball. You had Jeremiah, Dayton, Kobe Elvis, and Duke Miles. All four of them could handle the ball. And this year, after we got Xavier Brown and Nigel, and we retained Dayton, then do you have enough to keep going in the portal? And we had 3. And then losing Dayton, it really put us at a little pickle. And then I tell you what's been really good too is been cultivating Tay Davis out there at the point. In the second half, we went to him up top, and he's just a hard matchup because he has speed and he can handle it and he can pass it. So he's been becoming another one of our ball handlers, but it's just really given us some versatility. But definitely at this level, you can't have just 2 primary ball handlers. You can't. You got to have 3 or 4. And getting Dayton back, it's definitely 3, and Tay's evolving, and we've really been using him a lot up there.
Well, I don't know if any of you guys caught Porter's post game after the Vanderbilt win. I've laughed at it in the words of my late mom.
My late Catholic mom. My late very, very Catholic. I heard that all growing up.
And as I was laughing at that, there was probably a little bit of exhale whenever in the Georgia game you saw your team not put itself in a position where they were just having to, survive. What was, I don't know, what'd you see different in this team in the quote-unquote fourth quarter of that game?
Well, in life, in sports especially, but, when you go through struggle, sometimes it can be overwhelming. And that becomes, I don't want to say the word paralyzing, but the gravity of that. It's like a putter getting out there, like starting to get the yips. A baseball hitter is in a slump. All of a sudden, that ball looks like a ping pong ball.
Yeah.
And you'd be watching on TV and you're like, how can he hit that 3-foot putter? But the gravity of that guy, then knowing in his mind, I felt we were going through a little bit of that. And we played truly elite for 37 minutes against Vanderbilt. The top 15 team, offensively and defensively, controlled the game. And then it was just one play after another, and you could just feel the thickness. But to come out of that, and we talked so much about it. We went right after it that Monday, had our hardest practice. We said it isn't relief we won. It's time to put the foot on the gas, even go harder, and keep chasing. And we practiced all week, last 4 minutes, like we always do, but you could just see the confidence. And we got in that last 4 minutes thing, and the look in their eye just against the press, against how we did everything. We did 0 turnovers. And you sometimes in life you need that feeling to overcome that feeling of paralyzed.
Hey, did you guys feel it on Saturday? Feel different?
It definitely felt different. Like you said, we had a great week of practice after the win at Vandy. We drilled it, and we got into the game. We were super comfortable when it came down to it. And like you said, just getting that first win after that losing streak, there was a relief, but we know what's ahead of us. We know that there's a path for us, and so we just got to keep taking it day by day, game by game.
Good stuff. All right, we got another segment with Dayton Forsyth and head coach Porter Moser. Stick around. It's Sooner Sports Talk live from Rudy's.
The Huddle is brought to you by Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue, bringing you the best in real Texas barbecue. Trails Golf Club of Norman, where members become family. Inquire today at trailsgolf.com. OU's 2025-2026 women's basketball games are available on Ritmo 96.5 FM in Oklahoma City and 101.5 FM El Patron in Tulsa, as well as on those stations' websites. Each OU Spanish broadcast will feature a 15-minute pregame show and a 15-minute postgame show.
All right, let's roll on here with Dayton Forsyth and head coach Porter Moser. The segment's being brought to you by Mercy. Mercy, your life is our life's work. Coach, I want to get the Rudy's question in here early for you. It's from Bob from Norman, who wants to know, can you take us through the recruiting process and how you identified Dayton out of Dale as a guy you thought could play for Oklahoma?
So we saw him, I think the first time I saw him was with his team Griffin at AU at a young age. And just saw the competitive nature with him. And then as he got older, the EYBL is the #1 circuit. And to watch him do what he did against the top players in the country, and he just had a competitive nature. Dayton just, being the winner. He's a 3-time state champion from state of Oklahoma. You want to put a border on you and keep your top players at home. But to watch him at the EYBL compete against the best players in the country with no fear, athletically, and it's always funny because I'll go, man, you're sneaky athletic. He's like, there's no sneakiness about it. I'm athletic.
How did you? Well, I mean, listen, you're an Oklahoma kid. You grew up here, small town Oklahoma and Dale. Always. Oh, and by the way, Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue. You guys love it. That's why we're here tonight. Thank you for giving us Rudy's question of the day. Oklahoma. Yeah, I don't know. Is that so? Yeah, it's got great barbecue here. That's right. You always wanted to be a Sooner. I know you've told this story a lot, but kind of take me through your path to Oklahoma.
Yeah, like you said, I'm from Oklahoma. I grew up coming to OU games, cheering on the Sooners. Funny enough, my birthday's next week, and my birthday parties, whenever I was growing up, used to be my parents would buy me and my friends tickets to come to an OU game.
That's awesome.
So it's kind of it's surreal being out there wearing that uniform. But yeah, like whenever I was going through the recruiting process, like you were talking about, you try to not be biased towards your hometown. And that's where he came in. Being recruited by him and Clay and all the assistants and everybody, it just made me that much more sure that this was where I was supposed to be.
Earliest OU basketball memory?
Man.
Like when you're going to those games, whenever you're celebrating your birthday from Dale, are we talking – you're too young for Blake, right?
Yeah,
it wasn't Blake. So what are we talking here?
Funny enough, one of my memories that sticks with me is my parents, for one of my birthdays, got us down in the tunnel to high-five the players as they were running out. And I got a high five from everybody, and I missed Buddy Hield's hand. And I was so sad about it for the longest time. But now I get to play pickup with Buddy whenever he comes back. So.
Oh, that's got to be an awesome feeling, by the way.
It was really cool.
Dang, that is. So you were with Buddy in that cruise. You're growing up watching with Spangler and all of them?
Yep. Yes, sir.
We're not old enough yet, Porter, for that to be that long ago, right?
Oh, I know. It's just crazy to think of some of the names that they – I mean, LeBron. I just heard LeBron's going to be 24th season next year. And he was playing when he wasn't even born. That's just hard to think.
It's wild to think about.
No doubt. And
but it means a lot to you to wear the crimson and cream, doesn't it?
100%. 100%.
So, is there with the transactional nature of college basketball now, where we see the portal? Is it important for you to set that tone and be like, hey, man, this is Oklahoma basketball? It means a lot to, obviously, Porter and obviously the fans that are here. But, by God, I'm a guy in this locker room. I grew up on this. It means a lot to me. Is that important for you to set that tone?
100%. And like, when we have not just the rivalry games, but especially when we're playing Texas or OSU or somebody like that, me and Jeff and Reed, us Oklahoma guys, we all really try to spread that word that we really don't like those guys. But he
just said that a lot nicer than he said it in the huddle. The huddle was a little nastier from Dave.
Yeah. But no, just having that pride for Oklahoma, being able to wear that across the chest and represent the state of Oklahoma, it means so much to me.
Well, Porter, let's talk a little bit about the schedule ahead, and it's brought to you by One Oklahoma, Fan Field Athlete Focus. It's the SEC, so anytime we pull up the schedule and we look at it, we know it's going to be a challenging road ahead. What was the stat you said? The final 10 games, you had the most difficult schedule left, and guess what? You get to go play Rick Barnes in Knoxville, and then you turn around against the Texas A&M team that you guys had a heck of a game against the last time.
Yeah, Tennessee, when you look them ahead, they're it's interesting. We have our longest team we've had at OU in a while. We're 6'10", 6'9", 6'8". We're smaller at every spot compared to Tennessee and the SEC. They're huge. They're the number one offensive rebounding team in the country. So everything is going to come down to rebounding. They're obviously Rick Barnes in Tennessee. They play so physical defensively. They're the number 2 team in the league defensively. But offensive rebounding, they're just elite, and we have to win the trenches. You're not going to. We told in our team meetings and films and practice today. You're not going to hold them offensive reboundless.
Yeah.
They just get like 45% of their misses back. You have to get that in the 20s. You can't let them get 45% of their misses back. And that's that down. And that becomes a high percentage from 2. And they're 1-7 when you keep them below 50% from 2-point field goal percentage, 1-7. So the rebounding, these guys know. We practiced today with a bubble on the old school with the bubble. We went old school today. And it just became a so-called war on physicality. And I thought that was really good today, the rebounding.
Hey, by the way, you mentioned Buddy, and you talked about the history and all the great players that are here. We do have a Final Four reunion that's coming up for everyone to kind of enjoy what was one of the great eras in OU basketball. You can see it's going to be Saturday, February 24th. 21st, excuse me. That weekend game coming up this Saturday against, wow, it's already February 21st. That's crazy. That's this Saturday against Texas A&M. I'm sure it's going to be awesome for you to see him out there, right?
It is. It's going to be very cool being out there, being able to give those guys the recognition that they deserve.
And Coach, obviously a chance to tip the cap to that incredible squad.
Yeah, really happy, too, for Buddy, too, like just what he meant. And, you know, I've always said this about the NIL, and I feel for the fans, because you got Buddy for 4 years, and you look at it, in this day and era, it's so challenging to keep somebody 4 years, especially at that stature with NIL. And so you gotta relish the people that wore that jersey and the history, and to be able to induct that team and honor that team and get his jersey up there for Buddy, that is special.
Yeah, and in addition to getting the jersey retired in the Final Four team celebration, a Buddy Hield bobblehead. How about that?
We need a Dayton Forsyth someday, bobblehead.
Yes, I'm here
Maybe
for
one
it.
day.
Maybe one day. It's
That'd be
absolutely
top heavy, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Hey, real quick before we let you get out of here, physically, I know we talked about it, but just to recap, feeling good? Things good for you right now?
Feeling a lot better. Had a little hard fall the other day, but nothing I can't handle.
Every time you fall now, I'm like, but it's good that you're battling through, man. This is great. Thanks, Dayton. Appreciate it. Coach, congratulations.
Thank you.
Good to see this team playing as well as they have. That's Porter Moser. That's Dayton Forsyth. Again, Saturday, OU and Texas A&M. Big one. Make sure you're out there. We're back to wrap up Sooner Sports Talk next.
We'd like to thank our OU community outreach partners, Fowler Auto Group, OU Health, OG&E, and Coca-Cola. Sooner Sports Talk is brought to you by OU Fan Shop. The best place to gear up for game day is shop.soonersports.com.
I got to say something. I think this was one of the best crowds we've had for Rudy's. Now everyone's filtered out. They're off to spend the night. I say that as it's empty now. Everyone's gone. But the adrenaline, the intensity, Cobra killed it with the women's tennis team. It was fun always when you have KJ here, Jenny Baranchek, and obviously Porter Moser. So thanks to everyone who came out. Please make this part of your Monday night plans. You will be entertained. I promise you that. This segment's brought to you by Love's Travel Stops, the heart of the highway. And as we head out the door, don't forget, whether it's one day, a long weekend, or a special occasion, make your next vacation iconic. Make it Ocana Resort. Take 25% off your next stay with the code OUOKC. Book now at OcanaResort.com. Hey, go support Skip's crew. They're up 7-4 in the top of the third inning against New Mexico State. Until next week, Boomer Sooner, everybody.
Live at Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue, Sooner Sports Talk has been brought to you by Dos Equis, official import beer of OU Athletics. Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. And by Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue, bringing you the best in real Texas barbecue. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation on the Sooner Sports Network.